Hey guys, it's Michelle and I wanted to pop on here and give you my opinion and my reaction to why every influencer is selling her stuff, particularly luxury influencers. I guess jump in on the topic, but it took me a while because I carefully wrote my notes from the perspective of a luxury vlogger, but also from the perspective of a former Louis Vuitton employee, perspective of a regular degler who collects handbags. So lots of gals have been selling their stuff, most notably Nikki Sky, Anna Bay, and Caitlin Pawlowski, and a whole bunch more. Maybe going toward the trend of minimalism, maybe just having different priorities in their lives, or realizing they had an epiphany. Either way, good for them. I don't see any reason to criticize. I think it's a good thing. We should celebrate them selling their stuff. So I've been saying this all along. Material things do not possess you. They are not important in life in the long run. It's so easy to, in this day and age, everybody wants instant gratification, everybody wants to flex, and that has never been easier to do before the internet and social media. But if you take yourself out of that,
spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years buying clothes, shoes, bags, jewelry, makeup, and other things that I thought would make me feel better about myself. All a distraction from dealing with how I was really feeling on the inside. Unworthy.
Do you need to flex to your neighbors and your coworkers in real life? And if you feel like you need to, or have something to prove, maybe they're not the circle who needs to be around you. Number two, buying a bag is not a badge of honor. It is not a display of wealth. It is not a trophy of anything. It's buying a bag. No big deal. People buy bags every day. Number three, having things does not make you better than somebody who chooses not to spend excessively. Y'all have been spending excessively. And this did start during 2020 when everyone was forced to stay at home. So instead of using that $4,000 to travel, you put it in goods that you could buy online and it comes to your door. How satisfying. I get it. Now, Caitlin addresses this too. Everyone was in literally a world of panic, and it was a way to self-soothe, to relieve some boredom, to feel like, well, if I can't go to France, I might as well buy this thing from France, whatever the reason was. And more people were on the internet looking at other people unbox things. It became very popular. Back to my point, it does not make you better than people who choose to buy a Coach bag instead, or Michael Kors. If you check out like market analysis of who the leader in handbags are, Louis Vuitton might have the market share of luxury bags, but overall, it's a very small population of the USA who's actually spending on luxury, and everyone else really is choosing to buy something else. So we do not need to put other people down for their choices to not participate in buying luxury. Now, number four, the feeling is fleeting until you get your next fix. It's addictive, right? To me, any type of shopping is addictive, even if it's buying bags from the thrift store, or if it's buying like stuffed animals from the Jellycat collection, or any little piece of jewelry. The shine always wears off until you get your next fix. Caitlin has admitted to being addicted to shopping. I admit I have that bad habit too, and I've had it for a long time. I like to buy stuff. It makes me feel good. When I was working for Louis Vuitton, this is what I observed, that people being able to buy stuff, even if it's on their credit card, even if it's on debt, really felt good walking in there and walking out with an orange bag. And more often than not, they would come back less than a week later with that orange bag, realizing they had buyer's remorse. They couldn't really swallow the bill. Number five, we have too much stuff. We as a society, we are raised on capitalism and shopping. Raise your hand in the comments if y'all have too much stuff. This has been a problem for me, especially as a vlogger being sent a lot of stuff. And then I go buy stuff I don't even need, thinking, oh, I can talk about this or review it. So it's this endless cycle of stuff we think we need because we saw someone else has it, or I really like this, I want to share it. And maybe I don't need all these handbags, and I don't even have a lot of luxury handbags, but luxury or not, it's just too much stuff piling up. Number 6, now this is what I always thought from the beginning when I started my channel. Like, these type of purchase habits, shopping all the time, is not sustainable. In fact, it's not realistic. First of all, like doing the vlogging, it becomes a job to keep up with. It's not sustainable in the long run, nor does it make any sense. It's just not realistic. And I applaud the influencers who have finally admitted it. What purpose does it fill? Okay, so furthermore, I have to say this, that I do not agree with all the negative comments that some of these ladies have received regarding that, oh, they're lying, they're doing it for clout, to follow trends, she's gonna go right back to shopping, and it's a lie. Listen, influencers are people. Even though, like I said, this is a show, this becomes a job, we do have entertainment value, but also delivering facts that people would want to know. And I'm not even putting myself in the category of those big luxury influencers, but I have received plenty of backlash on my end about viewers being entitled to thinking how we should be, look, appear, say. And quite honestly, we're people, we're human, we are allowed to change. In fact, we should change. And we are allowed to evolve. And we are allowed to pivot our material. In fact, we should. It's not sustainable to keep doing luxury handbag material day after day. And like, honestly, I don't have anything more to buy in that category. And our priorities do change. So Nikki Sky mentioned her priorities turned toward her family, and good for her. And nobody should be crucified for saying that at all. They are not here to be your puppet or your doll or to feed your ego. Number 7, I would not have the amount of stuff I have if it were not for this platform. I would, because I have been a shopaholic for quite some time, like self-proclaimed shopaholic, but I also get like handbag companies sending me things asking to review. And if I really love it, I'm not going to say no. For example, sponsor break, Teddy Blake. I love their bags. They sent me another bag. Here she is. She's the Kate. And you can see a full review of her on my channel. So here's my shameless plug. And Teddy Blake is an affordable luxury retailer. So I'm going to start using that word affordable luxury. Luxury to me does not have to be Louis Vuitton. Going back to that too, about what I just said about influencers are allowed to evolve and change and pivot their material. And I have said over and over in just working for Vuitton and in doing my channel, have learned the strange behaviors of people over a bag and over what people will think about them holding this particular bag or not. I don't care for the brand. I don't care for any type of clout or status that people think they get by holding a Vuitton or YSL or Chanel or whatever. It's quite toxic, actually. Number 8. So let's really talk about what's going on, the reality of it. Today's economy. Is there a recession? Yes. Do corporations still keep making more and more money? Yes. So here are the facts. Now, just this past weekend, the price of everything that I usually buy, from Trader Joe's to my salad at the Nordstrom Cafe to my sandwich at the French Cafe at the mall, every single thing I noticed went up by at least $1. So if everything is going up by $1 and say I bought 20 things at Trader Joe's this weekend, then they're $20 richer and I'm $20 less in my pocket. If anybody has noticed this, I mean, there's no way that no one has noticed this. The price of everything has gone up tremendously. Now, fact number 2, I live in California. Just in the past couple months, Apple has laid off 600 people. Tesla has laid off 1,200 people. That's at least, and that's only 2 companies, that's a minimum of 1,800 households in California that are shopping less. They are no longer buying the luxury. They are probably scrambling to figure out how they're going to pay for their weekly Trader Joe's as well. Which leads me to number 9. Everyone sells their stuff, and it should be okay. Like, nobody should be shamed for it. Here in the US, we have too much stuff. And how is it that it's possible that there are villages still living in tents in other parts of the world who are perfectly content? They're not sitting there going, I have to have that Louis Vuitton wallet and I'll die for it. I have to have that push-up Matisse and the toiletry cases. It's not that serious, you guys. So number 10, it's all bullshit. And I'm not saying the influencers are bullshit. There are a lot of influencers who got themselves into debt. There are a lot of luxury collectors, luxury lovers who are now chasing the dollar bill to get them out of the debt that the handbags put them in. This is not uncommon. The luxury items, no matter how much I hear, oh, it's an investment, it's very difficult to predict if your bag is going to hold its wealth, or even if it's going to hold its shape and its pristine condition so that you're able to sell it for a profit. And as I said, having a Chanel, an Hermes, a Vuitton, it does not make you better, nor does it make you a moral person. So the reason I bring that up is that there is still this belief of what I call brand worship. There's still this belief that people really think they are paying the artisans of Louis Vuitton as if they are the only bag makers in the world. You are not. You are paying the corporation that is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. In fact, the Vuitton family does not even own Louis Vuitton. Bernard Arnault, the owner of LVMH, actually, because it's a public traded holdings company, stole Louis Vuitton from the Vuitton family by buying enough shares to oust the whole family out of the corporation itself. So you are paying the wolf of Wall Street, the wolf of luxury is what he's called actually. Any corporation exists, especially if they are publicly traded. They exist to make profit and increase profit so their shareholders are happy. That is what you're contributing to. Watch my videos about visiting the Louis Vuitton factory. Most of these pieces, the majority of the mass market selling pieces, are made on the production line. There is no one artisan whittling away at your bag. That only happens if you are buying an exotic bag. The supply chain, the chain of command, every little piece, the integration that goes into a bag is not any different from that of something you would buy at Target or H&M or Amazon. Bernard Arnault is not much different than Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Everything is about profit and bottom line and the ego of these two men, which one is richer than the next, okay? They're always in competition of who's richer. Where do you think they get that money from? Increasing the prices for you guys. 2 price increases per year? You know you've seen it. And yet you still buy. You panic buy and go, oh my gosh, well, it's going to be even higher, so I better get this thing now. Okay, that might be the right way to think. But also they operate on cutting costs in manufacturing and labor. I know for a fact, I reported this, that during COVID, commissions to Louis Vuitton employees were cut. Their commissions for canvas was already really low, 0.25%, and then it was cut to 0.1%. The guys on top could continue making their paycheck without making any cuts to themselves, but they undercut the employees. Now, lastly, the flex is the bullshit. You do not need to have so many bags to be approved by people you don't know. You don't have to have so many perfume bottles of Creed to show off to your friends because they probably don't even care. Now, if you are triggered by anything I have to say, you probably need to do some self-reflection. I am not calling out anybody specifically. I am just telling you how it is, and some people are so delusional about the idea of luxury and giving all their hard-earned money to these luxury corporations. How much of your day is spent worrying about what others think about you? As a society, we are beginning to really lack self-control, self-discipline, and self-awareness. When you're so absorbed with material things, I call this self-coddling. It's not self-care, self-love. In fact, putting all of your money toward a bag can be a form of self-abandonment. And I have been guilty of this. By that, I mean you're putting your money into a bag instead of like a long-term goal of a family vacation that more than just you can enjoy, toward education for yourself or for your kids. Now, as a former employee of Vuitton, y'all on social media only see what you see on social media, that everyone must be rich and flexing, so I want to be there too. I want to obtain the wealth, and I can obtain it. Sure, you can obtain it on your credit card, but it doesn't mean anything. So you do not see what I have seen just being on the other side of the counter in the store. I not just said this, wanting a bag just for clout or status. To even think that exists out there, it's really poor self-reflection. People thinking and acting, which means attitude, to prove that they belong in Louis Vuitton, to prove that they have something above somebody else. It's disgusting. Now, thinking the bag is an achievement or an investment. Okay, all these behaviors, y'all, is bullshit. In so many cases, your money is better spent on therapy. And if you're triggered by that, I'm a stranger on the internet, I'm not talking to you directly. Why are you triggered? Think about that. So anyways, my opinion about these YouTubers who are now selling their things, they have been enlightened. Congratulations, good for them. I think it's such a good thing. It's not minimalist, it's actually realistic. It's realistic. It's not a minimalist trend. It's realistic. Now, my advice, if any of this triggers you, time to find out why. Focus on yourself. How to be happy without material possessions. You don't have to sell everything and live in a tent, okay? That's not what I mean. I mean, do you need something to make you happy? Do you need someone to make you happy? How can you be happy on your own? How can you be happy without the reliance of other people's opinions of you or perception of you? What is your own self-perception? Can you be happy also without the need to spout off on what you think of other people, what you think of people on the internet, and you have the right to criticize them? All of that, frankly, is bullshit. And I notice more and more that people are getting meaner and meaner on the internet. Hey, and if you still want to buy the Chanel bag, look to buy it pre-loved from one of these gals who is selling it. Makes total sense to me. Well, that's my rant. Sorry for the long show. Thank you guys for being here. My name's Michelle. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed my content, and do come back and check out my membership portion. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.